Welcome to In Our Words, a weekly segment of LMP's opinion section that highlights some of the week's most thought-provoking issues. The following are the opinions of the LMP editorial board and not the news department. This holiday season, you'll have your annual opportunity to see the many cinematic versions of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Thus, this seems an appropriate time for a Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come type of exercise. If you recall, Ebenezer Scrooge didn't like the looks of his future and awoke from his vision compelled to change his miserly ways. The vision of Christmases to come for Lancaster County is no less ominous, but unlike Scrooge's, very real. Lancaster County is running out of land for residential and commercial development. In the central Lancaster County growth area, including Lancaster City and all or parts of 12 surrounding townships and boroughs, the amount of undeveloped land will fall from about 8,300 acres today to only 93 acres in 2040, planners project. That is, if the pace of land consumption doesn't change. Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if persevered in, they must lead, said Scrooge. The only way for residential and commercial development to grow within the boundary and not burst into farm country is to build with density in mind. Smaller homes, smaller lots, taller apartment buildings, mixed-use projects, and we have supported such projects. But that means compromises and concessions will have to be made. Where and by whom are the questions that need to be answered. We're paying now for sins of the past, but we can't do anything today about a decade's worth of rule flouting by municipalities. We can, however, focus on the future. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change, said Scrooge. According to the State Department of Human Services, more than 2,500 Pennsylvania children are waiting to be adopted. Childbirth is, without question, a miracle. The creation of a family through adoption is a miracle, too. It just requires a different sort of labor. Seemingly endless forms to complete, nerve-wracking home study visits that must be endured, long waits that can try one's patience and one's nerves. But at the end of all of that, a family is born. In this National Adoption Month, we ask you to consider the incredible gift that is adoption. Sadly, inter-country adoptions by Americans have fallen significantly in recent years. In the United States, private adoption can be costly, though the federal government offers a non-refundable tax credit for qualified adoption expenses paid to adopt an eligible child. But adoption isn't always expensive. According to Pennsylvania's statewide adoption and permanency network, subsidies can help to minimize the costs of adopting children in foster care. Even if adoption isn't in your future, there are ways you can support it. Employers could consider implementing adoption-friendly policies, paid family leave, even financial assistance to employees who are adopting. And we should encourage lawmakers to create an adoption system that is, in the words of Parents for Ethical Adoption Reform, transparent, ethical, economical, and respects the rights of families of origin, the laws of governments involved, the adoptive and prospective adoptive parents, and most importantly, the children themselves. All children deserve parents who regard them as precious gifts, as amazing individuals, as their children in every way. Finally, since the 1990s, Lancaster City police officers have been assigned to patrol specific neighborhoods as part of the community policing philosophy of law enforcement. But a series of interviews conducted by LMP with residents and community leaders revealed the department's approach is failing to establish meaningful relationships between police and residents. This is a complicated issue. Part of the problem, as we see it, is that we really don't know one another, and there's little evidence that suggests we're all that interested in knowing one another. The challenges associated with community policing are symptoms of a broader societal problem that we see reflected in our politics, in our discourse, and in our lack of empathy for those with different perspectives and worldviews. Community policing is sound law enforcement strategy. Strong community relationships establish trust and open the lines of communication. Residents are more willing to provide the kind of information that helps solve crimes and makes neighborhoods safer. Lancaster, all of Lancaster, police officers, residents, elected officials, has work to do. There are no shortcuts. An open mind, along with the willingness to know and understand one another, will be a good start. That'll do it for In Our Words this week. If you have an opinion you would like to share with us, you can email us at lancasterletters@lmpnews.com. You can also see what we think in the opinion section at lancasteronline.com. I'm Rich Maneri. We'll see you next time.